the Activated Storyteller's 38th podcast. April 5th, 2007.
This week's story is The Ghost and the Rock, a story from Gettysburg.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Kimberly.
And we are two-thirds of
Activated Storytellers.
And why are we only two-thirds?
Why? Because we're missing our son. He has flown off again, flown the coop, as it were. Zephyr is in a band in North Carolina, and they had some gigs this week. So that is where he is. They were playing a couple of shows in the Greensboro and Winston-Salem area,
which we came from not long ago ourselves. So actually, he didn't fly away. We drove away, and he's going to be meeting us in Chicago. Actually, he will have met us in Chicago by the time you hear this.
Right. We do pre-record these so that we can get them up online in time. Today is April Fool's Day, and this will air on April 5th for the first time.
Meanwhile, we are in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. We've been taking advantage of his absence to do some heavy-duty bike riding, or heavy-duty for us. So we've put in 4 bike rides this week.
Right. We started off, first of all, we were in Valley Forge. We attended a PTO Convention. We'll tell you a little bit about that in a second, but we're talking about bikes right now. We did ride the Valley Forge battlefield. We rode around where George Washington had set up camp for the winter. And that was about a 9-mile ride, I think, when we did that one, or 11 miles. 11 miles we did around Valley Forge. And then after the convention and whatnot, we did a ride along we just learned how to pronounce this river. Schuylkill River?
Schuylkill River.
Yes, we rode along the Schuylkill River from Plymouth all the way down to Philadelphia and back. A beautiful ride along the river there. You go along an old tow path, and that's about 35 miles, which is, I think, our record so far. We're working up so that we can do a little bit more on bike rides, but 35 miles is our record. And then yesterday, we met up with a group in Lancaster. We've been kind of driving across Pennsylvania, stopping and biking. Anyway, we stopped there and did a 22-mile ride with the group. Had a great time riding with other bike riders. That was a different experience for us. And then today, we rode around Gettysburg National Park. And this is our second time riding around Gettysburg.
Yes, and it's actually our third time to be in the Gettysburg Park, but our second time to ride it on our bikes. We've gotten quite a bit of history on our bikes this week. In fact, when we rode into Philadelphia, we went down where they signed the Declaration of Independence, and we went in to see the Liberty Bell again, like we did a few years ago. This time, however, we couldn't touch it like we did before.
Yeah, the setup for the Liberty Bell has really changed. I guess it was pre-9/11 when we were there in the past. And this time it's like going through airport security. They have added a number of exhibits and things that tell you more about the bell, but not quite as interactive as the first time when we got to go see the Liberty Bell and you could actually touch it. A little different this time.
At Valley Forge, as we said, we saw General Washington's headquarters. He had it relatively luxurious there because he got to stay in an actual house while the soldiers were out camped on the battlefield and had these little log cabins.
They were more like half of a log cabin. They were teeny, tiny little things.
Yes, and it was a very cold winter, but Washington had a house that was considered very comfortable at the time. By our standards today, it would be pretty Spartan, but he and Martha were in this house along with a few other people.
Yes, I was surprised to find out that Martha did make the trip out, about a 13-day trip she made out to spend the winter with him there in Valley Forge.
And Lancaster, not much we saw of historical interest there, but we did pass by some Amish farms, and we got the lovely smell of cattle as we passed by.
I don't think you mean that you really enjoyed that smell.
Next time we go through there, I'm going to carry a clothespin, I think.
But lovely countryside. Great ride going through Lancaster County. We had a great time there. And, Valley Forge, like I said, we did a PTO convention there. This was an event to come and see what's available, find out about fundraising opportunities and how to better run their PTO organization. This is put on by PTO today. And this is our second one. We've done another one. We did one of the first ones in Dallas, Texas. The first year, they had 2 artists available, 2 tables with the artists represented, ourselves and a guy who does math shows. And that was it. And so kind of sparse. But this year we had about 9 to 10, maybe even 12, about a dozen performing art groups represented. There was a stage where we got to perform for the group to see what's available and sample.
Next to us was a gentleman named Jim Flanagan, who was a retired principal and is now a storyteller. And he's written some books, compiled some books of stories. There's one of ghost stories in particular. And we have a copy of that book. And in it, we found a story about Gettysburg.
So that's the story that we are going to be presenting for you this week. It's called The Ghost and the Rock.
One night, a boy got up to get a glass of water. Oh, boy, I am thirsty. What's that? Dad! Dad! Oh, what is it, son? I was just getting my beauty rest. Dad, look out there in the rock garden. I could swear I saw a shadow. Shadow? Well, maybe Peter Pan's been here. Go on back to bed. Oh, these kids.
Well, he went back to bed, but the next night he talked his sister into getting up and going to watch the rock garden with him.
Yeah, you won't believe it. It's better than MTV.
Aw, I can't believe you got me out of bed for this. You're crazy.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw a shadow in the rock garden, huh? Tell me that.
I don't know. The other night when I saw the tree shadow.
No, I mean a shadow that moves. Look!
Whoa! We gotta tell Dad. Dad!
What?
Look out there! I see a shadow. You see it? Look right now, quick!
Oh, not again. You're right. I do see it. That means whatever you've got, it's hereditary. Oh, no. We better tell Mom so she can lose some sleep over it, too. Come on. Let me get my flashlight. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's a boy in a blue uniform. I wonder if he has a telegram for us or something.
Mom, look out there. What is it? Oh my. Hey, it looks like a ghost. Ooh, I often heard that ghosts are often attached to some particular thing or place, but I wonder what it could be.
Well, he seems to be awfully interested in that rock out there. The one rock. Why does he keep circling around it and looking at it? And
you're right.
Why don't we bring that rock in the house? Maybe that'll stop our ghost friend from appearing. Come on, let's go get the rock.
Oh, no, not tonight. No. I'm going back to bed. He'll just stay right there, and we'll deal with this later, like in the morning when it's light and we can see. Yeah.
So that's what they did. The next day they brought the rock into the house, and they thought they'd have no more problems with the mysterious shadows and ghosts dancing around outside. But that night... Dad, it's in the house. The ghost is in the house.
Oh, I want to see. Wow. Hey, look, Mom. He's wearing a Civil War uniform. Oh, you're right.
I saw him first. He's my ghost.
Did not. I'm the one that knew he was wearing a Civil War uniform.
I don't care. Did too.
You did not.
I did too.
So what?
All right. Children. Come on. We better get this rock out of here. Come on, let's take it outside.
But why would there be a ghost in a Civil War uniform around here? There were no battles or anything of the sort in this neck of the woods.
What about the rock, Mom? Maybe the rock came from somewhere far away. I know a really good geologist at the college. Maybe she can give me an idea of where this particular rock came from. I'll take it in tomorrow.
So, the next day, he took the rock and asked her, and she said, "Let me see here. Oh, well, now this rock has got the right composition for... Why, I believe this rock came from Pennsylvania. In fact, went there not long ago, and looks rather like one from Gettysburg that they used to use in the fences. I believe that's where this stone came from."
Gettysburg. That might explain the Civil War uniform. No, the Rock is not wearing a uniform. Never mind. You think it came from Gettysburg, huh? How would it have gotten here?
Oh, well, there are rumors of people taking rocks from Gettysburg and, well, say souvenirs and whatnot, and scattering them all over the countryside.
Isn't that illegal?
Well, of course it is. Why, there have been some stories of ghosts associated with rocks like this.
Oh, no, you're kidding. That's crazy. Well, look, thank you. You've been most helpful.
That night, they went out to the garden and waited to see if the ghost would appear.
Look, there he comes.
And he's on the rock again.
Hello there. You're from Gettysburg, aren't you?
Did you see that, John? He nodded.
I guess that settles it. We're taking a trip to Gettysburg. Gettysburg! Oh boy!
Gettysburg!
They have battles there.
Cannons! I heard they have cannons!
Yeah, and wear uniforms and ride horses and, oh boy!
John, the rock may be here and the ghost may be here, but Gettysburg is still in Pennsylvania.
Well, we've always wanted to go there.
Yes, but for fun, not to deliver a haunted rock.
Well, we can kill two birds. Oh, I guess that's not a good choice of words. No offense there, young fellow.
But how will we know where to take it in Gettysburg? We don't have an address.
No, but we do have a guide to show us.
You've got to be kidding. He wasn't kidding. As soon as they could, they packed up, loaded everything into the car, and set the rock in the back seat, wrapped in a blanket. And no sooner had they started driving when the ghost appeared, sitting next to the rock, with a happy look on his face.
Hey, young man, we're going to stop for a Big Mac. Don't suppose you'd like one, too?
Dad, I think ghosts are like vegetarian or something. I just don't know what we're going to tell the motel when they ask how many people are staying in the room. Finally, they made it to Gettysburg and stopped the car. The ghost led them out to the edge of a cornfield and pointed to a stone wall. They took out the stone and placed it on the wall. Then, after saying goodbye to their passenger, they drove away. Looking back in the rearview mirror, they could have sworn they saw other shapes come out to join him before they all disappeared into the shadows. But they never saw the shadows in their own garden again.
And that's the story of the Ghost and the Rock. A ghost tale from Gettysburg. That, as we mentioned, came to us courtesy of Jim Flanagan, storyteller. Jim Flanagan's his name. Storyteller's not part of his name. That's what he does. He's also an author, and his website is positivetales.org.
And he used to be a principal. We had a great time talking to him at the convention, and some other artists that were present. And parents, of course, had a busy day at the PTO Convention. This week, we're going to be performing in the Chicago area. So if you have a chance to come celebrate National Library Week with us, we will be performing at libraries across the Chicagoland, they say. Chicagoland, yes. So come join us there. And if not, of course, you've got a library near you, and there's no reason you can't go to your library and celebrate National Library Week, which is the third week of April. It begins April 15th. So don't worry about taxes. Just go celebrate libraries.
That sounds like a lot more fun to me.
So enjoy those books, and we will catch you next week with all three of us. Zephyr will be back, and he'll give us his wrap-up report from North Carolina.
Catch you next week.
The Activated Storytellers perform at schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use American Sign Language, physical comedy, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring the stories to life. For booking information, check our website at www.activated-storytellers.com, where you can also find out when the Activated Storytellers will be performing near you, read a story, or order one of our audio CDs. Until next time.